Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Agent Swifty here on YouTube. It's definitely been a while that I've done one of these. Today, I'm going to be discussing about Assassin's Creed Odyssey to the utmost, and how I basically figured out recently how to be the most effective hunter, warrior, or assassin. When I first started playing this game, I finally realized that I felt like I was doing something wrong. And now this is why I'm making this video today, is because so that way I can discuss about how and what's the proper use of equipment, abilities, and as such. And thank you viewer for joining. So what I'm going to be discussing here is basically the first thing I'm going to be talking about is the builds that you can possibly do for any type of with Alexios or with Cassandra. So what you see here, you have the warrior, assassin, and you have the hunter. I did mainly across all three. I'm going with the tribrid, basically a hunter, warrior, and assassin. But mostly I like to lean more towards on the warrior side because I like, like doing the Spartan kick where you have the kick them off ledges and whatnot. And then with the assassin, I decided to go with, the shadow assassin, the revelation, to where you can be able to find more proper things in the world, so that way you can scavenge, like get loot, money, or any kind of craftable items around the entire world of Odyssey. Hero Strike is actually really cool, especially if you're going to be going more on the assassin side of things. The Hero Strike, as you can see fit. Critical assassination is really cool. You deal 300% more assassin damage. You have a stealth master, which your assassination while you crouch is going to be your movement, and assassination is going to be further reduced, as you see on screen. And then I also did the slow time. The slow time is actually very, very effective. You're going to be more on the warrior side of things. I will show you that here. You have the overpower attacks. You have your fire mastery, you have your flaming attacks. I really like the flame ability. It's pretty cool. There's a good surmountable duration on enemies for them to burn on fire. Then you have your gear master, which your armor increase is really cool as well. It depends on what class you're going to be using. I sometimes go with the Ring of Chaos. It's okay, but what I really like about this in the foremost as well is that it has the blast stuns. Basically, stuns your enemies that's in front of you or behind you, and you have they're more vulnerable for attack. That's a really cool thing. Now, this is one of the most helpful things, especially if you're going to go more, like I said before, on the warrior side, is the second wind. You are able to heal yourself. Yes, that is correct. You are able to heal yourself. It's really cool and really quite beneficial if you are going to be running low on health. Weapons Master, that is also one of the most greatest of things as well if you're going to be in the warrior. I don't normally I went with Shield Breaker for quite a while, but then I decided to, reset my abilities and, do a little bit more, something more differently on the warrior side. Charged heavy attack is very, very beneficial. I really like that a lot because, it makes the enemies a lot more vulnerable for attack as well, other than what I previously mentioned about when it came to slow time on the assassin side. And last but not least, the Sparta kick. I think I remember I mentioned this just a moment or two ago, so my apologies for that repetition there, but that's alright. So I really like that a lot. That's very helpful, especially if you're going to be surrounded with more than one enemy in your approach. So, on the hunter side of things, I want the spread shot. Right now, I'm going with Cassandra, and I'm going with the Master Artemis's outfit. It's really cool. It's leaning more towards on the hunter side of things, but I will discuss that once I get done doing the abilities here. So, you have the spread shot. And then you have the devastating shot, which is also nice because you have your increased 200% build up and 400 hunter damage. You have your multi-shot is very, very helpful, especially if you're going to have enemies that are going to be surrounding you, especially in front. So that's quite beneficial. The Arrow Master is really, really cool. That really opens up more arrows that you can craft with their, whether if it's the paralyzing, the fire, the poison, and the explosive arrows. Craft arrows in the inventory menu. I'll show you where you have to do that. I went with the Rain of Destruction. That's pretty cool, especially if you want to do more of a far more range type of hunter type of thing. I've done it a couple of times. It's quite useful if you want to be able to use that perk. The Archery Master is really cool, especially if you want to try to do more on, if you're going to go more on the hunter side. You want to aim for that head as much as possible because that's where you're going to be doing the utmost of damage. And last but not least, the Ghost Arrows of Artemis. Yes, this ability is one of the most truest and the most badass abilities I have ever encountered when it comes to on the hunter side of things in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And so this is really, really quite beneficial. Like I said, if you're going to go, you can go with a hunter and assassin type of class build. You just got to make sure of how you're going to be able to set things up in terms of your gear set, and that's what I will be discussing here momentarily. So you're able to, snipe from afar with your ghost arrows through solid walls, bricks, anything that for that matter. It's very, very crucial if you want to go on that side of thing. So now we are going to go to our inventory. Now, what's really, really cool as well. I have almost all the legendaries, practically almost all the legendaries. So what I discovered, it was like about a month ago, and what I really like about this is that everything stacks, and when you have your hunter on all pieces of your gear, and you have the hunter on your bow, your sword, and like a spear, or whether if it's going to be like dual daggers. It's the same thing for warrior hunter. It's all going to stack on the warrior damage, the assassin damage, and the hunter damage. This is more on the lines of what class build you want to put yourself set on. I don't know what that meant, but my apologies on that. But like I said, if you're gonna go more on the assassin type of stuff, here's what I'll show you. You might want to go to either. Oh man. You want to go with the Viper Hood. You want to go with the legendary assassin set, which is the Viper Hood. The what was it? The Venom Gloves and so on. Oh yeah, I'll just show them here real quick. Slithering Belt, Scaled Torso. This is going to be the legendary assassin gear, and the Noxious Boots. What's really nice about this legendary set, though, is not just the assassin damage, but for the movement speed while crouching, and that's really, really cool. Now, if you see it right here on screen, it says Snake Set 0 out of 5, but if I have it fully equipped, you're going to have plus 10% intoxicated damage and weakening effect against your enemies. That is awesome. It's really, really cool if you're going to be more on the assassin type of side. Now, for the warrior side, I like to go with either the boots of the immortal, what's it called? The immortal set. It looks like a Persian type of set. It's really cool. That's pretty beast. But if you really want to go more on the warrior side of things, more so than from the Persian immortal set, is going to be the Agamemnon set. This is one of my favorite warrior legendary sets in Odyssey. I really love that. It's really, really cool. So I thought I'd just mention that, but like I said, you can do a mix and match if you want. But it all depends on what type of damage you are going to be producing between your assassin, your warrior, and your hunter. And it all depends on when you unlock a certain amount of engravings, you can engrave let's say if you want to do, like I said, if you want to do more on the warrior side of things, do some warriors type of stuff instead, rather than like going with a hunter or with an assassin. But I'm not. You don't have to if you don't want. I'm just telling you of how I truly, experience that type of play style when it comes to the hunter, the warrior, or the assassin build set in Odyssey. So, but anyways, let's see. There's another thing I could possibly mention is I think I mentioned about the engraving list. This is going to be an engraving list here. There's a little added extra in my video here. This is all the available engravings that you can possibly do and or achieve. And here are some locked engravings that I still need to unlock. But in order to unlock these stuff, you have to do like certain type of what do they call it? Some kind of like optional or like side stuff. I don't know. It's kind of like a system to whereas that you do specific acts that will be able to unlock certain types of engravings for your weapons, for your legendary gear or whatnot, or your epic or your blue or whatever you may call it. So that's really cool. But most of the time, I like doing more on the assassin type of side because of the fact I'm so used to like playing the assassin rather than the warrior or the hunter. Because I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan, always have been and always will, to far more beyond. I don't know. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention this and make this quick video for you guys. But stay tuned to more future videos here at Agent Swifty on YouTube. I am out. Take care. Ka-choo.